Well, hello to my lovely viewers, it's PNG. Thank you for tuning to my One Piece Bounty Rush video. And today, well, I'm gonna do a discussion video and probably naming the best upcoming counter, or at least a potential character that can give the new EX Extreme Edward Newgate, in other words EX Whitebeard, a bit of a challenge when he comes and released at the 24th of January, which is in a couple of days time. I know it's a very early topic to discuss the counter, or at least the potential characters that can actually give or provide the EX Whitebeard a fight. It's actually all preparation, because Bandai always release characters just to be near busted or broken, just to terrorize the meta, and everyone just dump all of their resources, their rainbow diamonds, their hard-earned money, cash towards the new character. And I'm gonna be one of those idiots that will be going for Whitebeard, because everyone should know by now I am a big fan of Whitebeard. But of course my favorite character is Zoro, but Whitebeard, a huge respect, as well as a fan of him as well. And I have no problem investing to get him. He finally got a extreme level character version of him, so I'm absolutely very glad he will be releasing in a couple of days. But in order to sort of like prepare myself, and also prepare all of you who may be unfortunate not able to get Parps, the EX Whitebeard, then you will need to be prepared what characters you might have on your roster that can compete against the new Whitebeard. Because the new Whitebeard, he is a white or light element defender, the first edition, literally the first one. So he has no direct counter yet, and he doesn't have a sort of like element that is strong against the light element characters. We all know the dark elements will be the one that can counter, or not counter, but at least do more damage towards them, but it's not 100%. Element does provide some increase of damage, but not absolutely can defeat them, because if they possess strong traits, strong skills, it just basically balances it out. It doesn't mean a huge difference if you have a stronger element advantage. So it's just a matter of having the right character, the right traits to counter the new EX. So I will have top character recommendation that you can look into that could help you to compete in the new meta. So let's just quickly have a look at Edward Newgate's new trait. So if you look at his character trait, it's a reduced the effect time or status effect inflicted by the enemies by 80% and nullifies tremor. So in other words, you can't really rely on characters that can, and heavily relies on status infliction, because it doesn't last that long to keep the new Whitebeard damaged or in bay, or maybe immobilize him. It doesn't always work on him. So you might want to sort of like look at character doesn't heavily rely on status inflictors. And also recovers the treasure gauge above 50%. That's a defender's trait, and ignores it. And when holding, so the skill, all of these are pretty much it, but the most important is his status infliction. So the character that I would recommend, so let's just go and have a look, are these characters. So these are the character that I would probably suggest. I know someone like Akainu, the EX Akainu, is not, as I mentioned, he heavily relies on incineration to boost the attack, but he still can. So once he boosts the attack, max it up to the level to 50%, I think it was. So his trait is what it can increase up to, up to 50%. So once he reached that 50%, he will be strong enough to deliver huge damage. So if you fight against someone like Whitebeard, you will feel fine. Even he's not strong, the red is not strong against the light element, but he was still able to, once he get his attack increased to the max, then you can put up a good fight against Whitebeard, because Whitebeard still can get inflicted, but he can get out of it quickly. So incineration, you still can burn him maybe one or twice, like 2 seconds, and then it will lose it, but it's still going to be useful. I think Alkainu will be able to put up a good fight if the EX Whitebeard player doesn't play properly. And of course you got characters like Pelispello, although he does also heavily relies on status infliction, but you do have this ability to inflict candyfying people. Once when they turn to candy, you will at least recover some HP from inflicting it. But I know Whitebeard can walk out of it within 2 seconds, and then you weren't able to do much. But if you can catch him on Candy Maiden, continuously keep him at bay, let this skill land on Whitebeard, then you will have a chance to do huge damage, and then Whitebeard will have some trouble. But of course, as I said, only the players who play idiotically, doesn't play him properly, then Perspero can pick him off quite easily. So the other characters I would probably say is someone like Raidon Onigashima Nami. Nami, although relies heavily on inflicting shock to build the attack, but as I said, EX Whitebeard can get inflicted, but it doesn't last very long, so you will be able to take advantage. Nami will still able to build up the attack quickly, and once you build it up to 70%, 75%, it will be easy picking, because you can easily overpower EX Whitebeard if they need to. But Whitebeard is still a very powerful character. Just make sure that you play properly and utilize everything that you know who you're using. And then if we look at another Whitebeard's like his actual some personal traits, well, that before was a character trait, then now it's actually his own traits. When attacked by a character that is parameter boosted, you will get a 30% damage reduction and also resist stagger. When your team treasure area gauge is more than 80%, you chain knockback to go down and reduce damage by 50% as well. So you can see this does show you that he does heavily rely on damage reduction instead of instead of defense increase. So if you look at these characters, someone like, I would say probably right now the highest character that has the highest chance to counter the new Whitebeard is going to be Film Red Shanks, because Film Red Shanks, this skill here, Red Haired Onslaught, will able to ignore damage reduction. So no matter how much high damage reduction percentage that Whitebeard possess, he'll just ignore it. You just make sure you just keep knocking people back and then get your attack increase up to 100%, then you will able to one-shot Whitebeard quite easily, because even, as I said, green, blue, or red is not super effective against white or light element. You will find it once he's boosted attack up to 100%, then you can actually swipe him through with his skill 1. And then the other character I would say is a good counter is going to be Big Bum Pirate, Sweet Free General, Charlotte Cracker. As you know, Charlotte Cracker does use this skill, Crash Pretzel. It ignores damage reduction, so it can actually bust through the Whitebeard's damage reduction ability. And but of course, we need to consider that Whitebeard do also have this trait as well, where after receiving damage from enemies which is 50% or more max HP, reduce the damage by 50%. So it might able to counter out, but because it ignores damage, so you might basically able to bust through it. So it's just really depending on you. And the other character that I can say is going to be a very good counter as well will be someone like Kozuki Oden, because Oden is a defender killer after all. So if you notice this character trait here, where if he fights a character inside a treasure area and is a defender as well, you do nearly 50% more damage from normal attacks and your skills, so you will able to bust through EX Whitebeard's skill defense and his damage reduction quite easily. So Kozuki Oden might make a return. And then the other character is also New Fisherman Pirates Captain Holdy Jones. Holdy Jones is a power user killer, so you will find that he will able to do a lot of damage against a power user. So you will find him that he's very useful, and he will basically, if you can actually make sure you shock pack, you can do 200% damage. So yeah, it will be very helpful. And if you can also make sure you're on your steroids, on your crack, then you will able to do very high damage towards the new EX Whitebeard. Other characters as well is, of course, Hero of the Navy, Monkey D. Garp, the Prime Garp. Personally, Prime Garp is an absolute captain killer. because you know he has the traits to fend off against captains, and Whitebeard is a captain, so you will find him that probably although you might not be fighting Whitebeards a lot because they both are defenders, but if any of the idiots Whitebeard, EX Whitebeard players does come along trying to be an attacker, you will be fine. He will able to fend off EX Whitebeard quite easily. And then the other character I've also recommend is this character as well, Silver's Rayleigh, because Silver's Rayleigh, it's really down to you as a pro player. Just make sure you can actually read the new EX Whitebeard's skills and behavior as well, because if you do realize you're capturing and you make sure you keep an eye on the ground, of course, if he does use his skill 2 to fend off everyone that's capturing, just make sure you just dodge it as soon as possible to counter against the new EX Whitebeard, because EX Whitebeard can get inflicted stun only for a couple of seconds, and then you still able to swipe him away. He does do 30% HP damage, so it might be helpful because it does do HP damage, not towards a regular damage. So I don't think the damage reduction will be very effective against Silver's Rayleigh's perfect dodge. And another character that I probably would recommend is also, I forgot to add this character on my list. Where is it? Oh, here you go. Yep. So yeah, the 7 Warlord of the Sea, Marshal D. Teach, also known as Blackbeard, the SOB. He is a power user killer, so you will find him that he will do a lot of damage against the power user. So regardless if EX Whitebeard is a light element, he is red, but he does do a lot of damage against the power user, especially this skill here, the Black Vortex, because he can pull Whitebeard out of his treasure and then just punch him. You just a matter of like make sure that you give him the right stats to actually take on the EX Whitebeard. So yep, I know very strong chance the new Yonko Blackbeard will be the black or the dark unit, so you will see in the future. Most likely, I think he's got to come very, very soon just to counter out the Whitebeard. And then, of course, the final character I think is a strong one for lucky you guys. Whoever has this character is Expensive Luffy. Expensive Luffy is a deadly unit. I think he will be a annoying character to deal with for the new EX Whitebeard, because his skill, especially his bounceman form, will ignore damage reduction once he uses this skill. Once he build up his attack to the max, it will be literally one shot, I personally think, because this bounceman in this expensive Luffy form is going to be a very deadly unit to go against the EX Whitebeard. But if the EX Whitebeard player does play it properly, prioritize as a defender, and just don't get free hit for the enemy, then you'll be fine. And EX Whitebeard will be a very powerful unit. I personally think I will be absolutely brilliant with him. Any of the proper defender players, the EX Whitebeard will be the best unit up until whatever comes out to counter him. Alright guys, hopefully this information will be a bit useful for you. I know it's all over the place, but I just want to be prepared for anyone that has basically had bad luck getting EX Whitebeard, just to at least survive in the meta and enjoy it. But overall, it is a wrong move, because I am passionately want to make sure Whitebeard is justified and providing the best profile, best PR, best everything for him to sell him to be the best unit. But anyway, I think it's the information I provide you. Hopefully it will be helpful for you. Alright guys, hopefully that in the next couple of days when Whitebeard comes out, and good luck to anyone who's actually trying to summon for him. Alright guys, I'll catch up in the next video then. See ya.